A lot of people out there stumped. What were they looking at?
Weird lights in the sky, strange creatures in the woods, shapeshifters living among us.
Ayo ikut, ayo. Ayo ikut, lu mah.
When the sun sets, forests come alive with untold horrors. Get ready to witness how peaceful camping trips become terrifying encounters that no one saw coming. Jungle Nightmare. It was supposed to be a simple walk through the jungle, but for one young explorer, it turned into a terrifying encounter. As she moved carefully between the trees, her flashlight scanning the darkness, she noticed something strange. There behind a big tree trunk, she saw a figure hiding. Here is the scary jump. The monster appeared to be a rake rushed towards the girl, its mouth wide open, and the video ended abruptly. Hope the girl made her way out of the jungle. Haunting incident. On the night of the 28th of October 2023, around 1:30 a.m., a camera caught something that will haunt anyone who sees it. Deep in a forest, where the trees towered over everything, a white skinwalker crept into view. Its hollow eyes and bony thin frame made it look more like a nightmare than a real creature. Slowly, it moved across the camera's frame, its every step calculated and silent. The fear in the footage is real. Those who've seen it say they couldn't shake the feeling that something's out there, watching, and it's not something you'd ever want to meet. Ancient tribes.
Ayo. Ayo ikut, lu mah setan lawak lu.
Some adventurous campers found evidence about the existence of ancient tribe people during their forest expedition. In the darkness ahead stood an unusual being, its appearance unlike any normal human seen before. As the curious campers surrounded the figure, it displayed defensive behavior, actively trying to frighten them away. His reactions and appearance pointed to something remarkable, possibly a member of an undiscovered ancient tribe still surviving in these dense forests. It looks like forests hide communities living far from modern civilization.
Tuh, lihat belakang lu apa, nge?
Unseen visitors. Security cameras are there for safety, but what happens when they capture something no one should see? A red-skinned humanoid creature with glowing white eyes was lurking in the backyard, hiding behind thick green bushes. Its eerie gaze was fixed on the house, watching every corner, as if waiting for someone to notice. The creature moved slowly, its unsettling stare making it feel like it could strike at any moment. The sight is terrifying, leaving the homeowners questioning if the creature is still out there, or if it ever really left. Jungle Terror. A tracker's worst nightmare became a reality in the shadowy depths of the jungle. What he captured that night would make anyone sweat. Right there, just inches from where he stood, a pale, twisted figure darted across his path, the rake moving at an unnatural speed. But this was only the beginning of his terror. Dozens of glowing eyes pierced through the darkness. They were everywhere, watching, waiting. These creatures had surrounded him in complete silence. Then, in a flash, one of them charged. The camera catches its horrifying speed before everything goes dark. The footage ends here, but the questions remain. Local authorities searched the area, but found no trace of the tracker or the creatures. Attic horror. Monsters don't just lurk in the shadows. They could be living right under our noses, and we wouldn't even know it. This guy kept hearing a weird shuffling noise around his house, but he chalked it off as just some rodent. However, his gut knew it was something else. So one day, armed with nothing but a dim phone and a friend, he wound up in the attic, but initially didn't see anything. Just as he thought he was out of danger's hair, there it was, a creature no one could identify. The video cuts off right then and there, so who knows what happened, or if they even survived. Glowing eyes. While taking a stroll, a local noticed something strange, a pair of glowing eyes peeking through a wooden fence. The eyes moved, as if trying to force their way out. The sight was so unsettling, he quickly captured it on video. Once the footage went viral, people began to speculate. Some believed it was the rake or a skinwalker, while others thought it might be a ghost. One thing was clear, the sight was so eerie the man was never going near that spot again. Winged creatures. Have you ever seen something so strange that it felt like you were in a scary movie? That's exactly what happened in this quiet backyard. Right there, sitting on top of a small shed, was a huge creature with wings. It wasn't like any bird anyone had ever seen before. The creature looked almost alien-like, with giant bat wings spread out wide. When it saw the resident, it quickly flew away into the sky. Many believe this is a gargoyle, one that wouldn't have left any survivors if it hadn't fled. Creepy being.
What the hell is that, man? Hello?
You've probably heard of creatures that roam the night, but what if one was right there watching you? In the middle of the night, a tracker filming his surroundings noticed a short, hairy creature with glowing red eyes staring at him from the darkness. As it lifted its hand, the tracker saw its terrifying light-colored sharp nails, which only added to his fear. Believing the creature might charge, he tried to hide, heart racing. Just when he gathered the courage to look again, the creature vanished into the night, leaving the man shaken and questioning what he just witnessed.
What the hell is that? Oh my god, oh my god.
Unseen watcher. You think security cameras only capture normal things? Think again. In a video from May 2005, captured by a security camera, something strange appeared in a room. A weird, alien-like creature hiding in one corner. The video shows it peeking out from behind a door, its large eyes fixed on the room, watching closely. Only its head was visible, blending into the shadows as it stayed completely still. Then, as suddenly as it showed up, the creature disappeared back into the dark. This creepy footage leaves a haunting question. Was it watching us? Shapeshifter. A family had been noticing unusual activities around their house, but this time, they caught something on camera that left them speechless. A man entered their backyard and seemed to merge with another person already standing there. Suddenly, the duo transformed into a single strange creature, white, with multiple feathered limbs that it used like spider legs to climb up the wall. As they watched in horror, it changed shape once again. That day, they realized what had been haunting them, a skinwalker, or perhaps he was a shapeshifter. Have you ever come across such a creature in your house? Nighttime stalker. Think your home is safe at night? A family in the United States learned that something sinister can hide right in your own backyard. Their peaceful nights turned into a nightmare when an unknown creature started creeping around their house. Their home surveillance camera caught the mysterious visitor trying to hide behind trees in their yard, making unsettling noises as it moved. The gray-bodied creature, resembling the Rake or something straight out of Jeepers Creepers, crept through the darkness. Since then, the family has moved. But then again, who wouldn't? Sinister pair. You might have never seen this duo ever. A man's peaceful forest exploration turned into a nightmare when he stumbled upon two chilling figures ahead. There stood a ghostly girl, completely still. Her face was covered in an eerily unnatural way. Right beside her, a white creature crept on all fours, its body resembling the legendary Rake from horror tales. The four-legged being slowly started approaching the man, while the girl remained motionless. Their presence together made the encounter even more terrifying. Two supernatural entities seemingly drawn to each other in the dark forest depths, as if united by some unknown sinister purpose. Haunting encounter.
What do you want from me?
A local's quiet night took a terrifying turn when he spotted a ghostly figure, and it began to follow him. As the man walked, the eerie presence loomed behind him. Its eyes were empty and cold, staring as if it wanted to take his very soul. The man cried out, desperate to escape from this sinister encounter. Then, the video cuts out. Whatever happened next, we'll never know. Local authorities searched the area, but found no trace of either the man or the ghostly figure. Some say the creature dragged him into the shadows, never to be seen again.
What do you want from me?
Glowing eyes. It was just an ordinary night, until the trail camera picked up something that wasn't supposed to be there. Figures, barely visible, moving slowly across the screen. No faces, just eyes. Bright, glowing eyes that seemed to burn right through the darkness. They moved, almost in sync, glancing back at the camera as if they sensed it was there. Those who've seen the footage believe they're rakes, creatures that slip silently through forests at night, staying just out of sight. Whatever they are, they're real and they're watching back. Jungle nightmare. Strange voices echoed through the jungle, driving a man deeper into the woods. What he found next would haunt him forever. A creature stepped into his path. It looked like a massive werewolf covered in thick, coarse fur. Its eyes glowed bright white. Instinct took over and he turned to run. The jungle around him seemed to come alive. Whoa! He ran fast, knowing that something was chasing him. The camera caught his desperate escape, but the glowing eyes of the creature, lurking just out of view, were the true terror. What waits in those dark jungle paths is the stuff of nightmares. Jungle's hidden horror. What if the jungle hides more than just animals? A camera captured something that's hard to forget. A creature, half goblin, half snake, moved quickly through the dark underbrush. The creature didn't seem to care about the camera. It just kept moving speedily, as if it belonged there. Was it a mythical being or something more sinister? Whatever it was, it moved with a purpose, which is one mystery I wouldn't want solved. The jungle might be hiding more than we realize. Human or lion? You're not gonna believe this. A trail camera caught something insane in the jungle. There's a pale creature just sitting on the grass, digging at the ground near a tree. It was still, almost too still. Then suddenly, it got up. Things changed as the man became a lion. Without warning, it let out a roar so loud that it felt like the whole jungle shook. It appeared to be a shapeshifter. Whatever that thing was, it definitely wasn't supposed to be there. You wouldn't want to find out what it was either. Werewolf in shadows. It was just supposed to be another quiet night in the forest, until the spotlight hit it. Sitting there on the sand, covered in thick black fur, was a creature unlike anything he'd seen. Its eyes reflected the light, and a low, rumbling roar broke the silence. It looked almost like a werewolf, powerful and wild, its fur mixing into the night. For a moment, the cameraman simply watched, unsure of what he was seeing. Then instinct kicked in. He turned and walked quickly back towards safety, still shaken by the encounter. Whatever that creature was, he didn't want to find out. Encounter on highway. A quiet highway at night, just the hum of the truck, and then there it was, right in the middle of the road. A pale, still figure, just sitting there, not moving an inch. The driver hit the brakes, heart pounding as he grabbed his phone and started recording. The creature didn't even wince at the headlights, just sat there, watching like it had been waiting. And then, without a sound, it was gone. The driver never got close enough to see what it really was, but he won't forget that night anytime soon. Uninvited guest. In the night, something triggered a home security camera. Right there, caught on CCTV, a dark shape emerged from the shadows. The figure moved strangely, wearing an all-white cloth. The strange part was that it was moving in a creepy way. No explanation could be found for what the camera captured that night. They say security cameras don't lie, but sometimes they reveal things we wish they hadn't. Watch carefully, because in your own backyard, not every shadow belongs there. Legend is back. In a Russian forest, a forest worker's routine patrol turned into something extraordinary. Right there, moving between the trees, was a massive black figure. A legend whispered about for generations, now captured on camera. Its dark form, eerily human-like, yet impossibly large. In the soft soil, the creature left behind massive footprints, each one deeper, larger than any known animal could make. The researchers who studied them still can't explain what they found. The video evidence remains haunting and clear, proving that sometimes the monsters from our childhood stories might be more real than we think. So next time you hear rustling in those remote forests, remember, not all shadows are cast by trees. Roadside terror. Think driving in daylight means you're safe? This driver's terrifying encounter might change your mind. As his car rolled past a utility pole, he saw it, a dark black creature moving right against the pole's wire. This was no ordinary animal you'd expect to see on a country road. In a flash, the creature escaped, its strange form disappearing into the thick brush and trees. No sound, no trace, just gone in an instant, leaving only fear behind. Local wildlife experts can't explain what was caught on camera that day, but one thing's for sure, something unusual is there. Next time you're driving by yourself, maybe keep your eyes on those utility poles. You may find something. Into the dark. You won't believe what happened to this brave tracker in one of the most haunted forests. As he carefully moved between the trees, armed with his torch, a strange ghostly creature appeared in front of him. It wasn't like any normal animal. This thing was almost see-through, as if it was made of fog. But just as quickly as it had appeared, the creature vanished into the air. The tracker looked everywhere, flashing his light in all directions, but it was gone. Just like that, as if it had turned into mist and floated away into the darkness. Legends say these ghostly beings only come out at night, hiding from any light that might reveal them. Terrifying woods encounter. Have you ever felt that coldness when you know something's watching you in the dark? That's exactly what happened in these haunted woods. A camper was about to face his worst nightmare. His flashlight cutting through the darkness showed two red eyes staring straight into his soul. It was none other than a legendary skinwalker, moved slowly with no noise. There's a reason why locals have a saying, when the sun sets, the forest belongs to them. Some folks have to learn these lessons the hard way. At least he lived to post the video, right? Next time, maybe stick to hiking during the day. Neighborhood nightmare. In a residential area, something sinister began to emerge. A strange, monstrous form crept quickly across the lawn. This was no ordinary animal. The creature's bizarre shape and unsettling motions were unlike anything the witness had ever seen before. What kind of mythical, nightmarish being had come right in this seemingly normal suburban setting? Just a few seconds of footage, but those scary moments have left the entire community deeply shaken. Is this proof that the stuff of legends can come into our everyday lives without warning? Now neighbors are on high alert, wondering if they too might spot this suburban stalker the next time they step outside. Mountainside monolith. There are some sights that are simply too big, too bizarre to be real, but for one beachgoer, one creature shattered any sense of normalcy. Towering high on the mountainside, overlooking the beach below, a massive black form stood. Its sheer size was unsettling. This was not a human. Was this a ghost? Some ancient guardian of the landscape? Whatever the case, the sight was creepy. News of the encounter spread quickly, and soon the once peaceful shore became a destination for thrill seekers. People flocked to the beach, hoping to catch a glimpse of the mysterious mountain creature. But no matter how long they waited, the towering black figure never reappeared. Night visitor. What seemed like an ordinary night took a terrifying turn when the doorbell camera caught something chilling. A figure appeared, wearing a white dress, its head bald, its face twisted in an unnatural way. It stood at the door motionless, as if waiting. Then without warning, it began banging its head against the door again and again. Rumors spread quickly, some believe it was the ghost of an old man from the nearby graveyard. The town is full of stories like that. Now everyone is left wondering, is it really him? And if so, who will be next? Creepy shortcut. A man was driving down an abandoned road, hoping for a quick shortcut home, but his plan took a chilling turn when he spotted a strange fire in the middle of the road. Curious, he moved his car closer to see what was happening. That's when he noticed a shadowy figure, either a ghostly apparition with a scary face and unusual appearance, or someone deeply engaged in a midnight ritual. Fear gripped him, and he quickly decided this was not worth investigating. He backed up and took the long way home. Forest encounter. Some mysteries should stay hidden in the dark. A group of adventurous friends decided to explore a forest at night. Suddenly, they spotted a strange creature standing quietly among the trees, not far from them. It barely moved, almost as if it was trying to avoid being noticed by the dim light of a pocket watch. Could it be the man-eating Wendigo, or perhaps a ghostly figure trying to frighten them away? Whatever it was, they quickly realized that some places are best left alone. creepy sighting. Most trail cameras catch deer or bears, but what if they captured something that shouldn't exist? A trail camera set up along a forest path recently captured something truly disturbing. The unknown creature it recorded was freakishly tall, moving in a way that was far from normal. It crouched strangely as if trying to stay hidden, yet its bipedal walk had an unnatural bounce unlike any humans. It seemed like this creature could be about 9 feet tall. Slowing down the footage, you could see just how unsettling it looked. Thin and lanky, but with an oddly large head. It's one of the creepiest things caught on camera in the woods. Forest spirit.
Bah, ini apaan, bah? Bah, ini apaan, bah?
Camping is not always about toasted marshmallows and fun. Some forest nights hold darker surprises. During a late night camping trip, friends made an unsettling discovery in the forest. Their flashlight beam revealed what appeared to be a girl dancing, but something was terribly wrong. The figure wasn't standing on the ground. She was floating in midair with a creepy face. Though the friends managed to leave safely, they had witnessed something straight from the darkest ghost stories. A dancing spirit that haunted the forest darkness.
Bah, ini apaan, bah? Bah, ini apaan, bah?
Warehouse watcher. A heavy equipment operator went on a routine night shift. When he arrived to collect his equipment, he spotted something massive moving among the trees. There in the shadows stood a tall, dark, hairy creature. It was all like the legendary Bigfoot. The creature's attempts to hide behind the trees proved ineffective due to its impressive size. Rather than risk a closer encounter with this unexplained being, the operator quickly turned his vehicle around and sped away, leaving the equipment behind. Some jobs are better left for daylight hours. Farmhouse scare. A man's peaceful evening at his farmhouse took a frightening turn when he noticed strange movements behind the bushes. Initially suspecting a trespasser, he peered out his window for a better look. What he saw next froze him in place. A creepy figure walking on all fours suddenly charged toward his window at alarming speed. Only the timely escape prevented a direct encounter with this unknown creature. The experience left such a lasting impression that the man vowed to never visit his farmhouse after dark again, knowing something inhuman prowled his property. Trapped soul. In 2024, a trail camera set up to monitor wildlife in the woods captured something utterly unexpected. Around 2 a.m., a white shadowy figure emerged, becoming clearer as it approached the camera. The being moved strangely, crawling low to the ground in an inhuman way. Its blank face held only glowing eyes, while long dark hair fell over what looked like a white robe. The creature's otherworldly movements and appearance suggested something supernatural, perhaps a lost soul trapped between our world and the next, forever wandering these woods. Night howler. A loud roar broke the silence of a peaceful camping trip, waking everyone from their sleep. When the campers went to investigate, they found themselves staring at a terrifying sight. There stood a dark figure, sporting a dog-like face with a humanoid body covered in thick hair. Despite its attempts to hide behind bushes, the creature's large size and glowing eyes made it clearly visible. They claimed when they looked again in a moment, the mysterious beast had completely vanished. Otherworldly encounter. While driving down a dark abandoned road in the middle of nowhere, a man felt something was watching him. As he drove ahead, the strange feeling grew stronger. He stopped the car to look around, and that's when he saw it. A tall, gray figure standing still in the shadows. Its large head and thin body made it look like an alien, or maybe even a legendary creature like the Rake. Whatever it was, the man surely did not wish to check it. Would you? Haunted cow. Everyone thinks missing farm animals only fall prey to wolves or other wild animals, but this farmer's security footage showed a hunter from another world. While the unsuspecting cow stood, out of nowhere, a creepy, shadowy figure appeared and slowly moved toward the bovine, which even seemed to have sensed something was there. As this shadowy figure reached the cow, seemingly attempting to possess it, the footage suddenly stopped. Now the farmer wonders if this spirit might be walking his fields disguised in his cow's form. Messy blonde hair.
Hey,
One homeowner's camera revealed why his property never felt quite empty. A man's claims about nightly visits from a mysterious girl finally found proof through his camera footage. The recording showed a chilling sight, a dark figure with messy blonde hair peering over his wooden fence. Only the shadowed side of its face was visible, creating an unsettling image in the night. Despite the homeowner's repeated knocking on the fence,
Like she's actually sticking her head.
the figure remained unnaturally still. The ghost-like visitor's persistent returns suggested a deeper connection. Perhaps this spirit girl once called this property home, drawn back night after night by memories of her former life.
Hey, move.
Portal peeper. Backyards are for relaxing, not encountering unknown terrors. One family's peaceful time turned into a brush with the supernatural. As they relaxed on the lawn, a strange feeling of unease settled over them. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a portal seemed to open in the darkness, and a giant creature appeared. Its form was too shadowy to identify, and soon escaped, but its sudden arrival hinted at something otherworldly watching them from beyond. Whatever the creature's intentions, its mere presence was a profoundly unsettling sight. Bigfoot in forest. Forests are not just scary at night, some strange encounters are happening during the day too. Tourists were filming forest scenery, but captured more than trees and wildlife. As they stepped in, they spotted a giant hairy creature. It was about 8 feet tall and had a muscular body. As soon as the tourists screamed, the creature quickly slipped back into the trees. Many people believe this sighting is proof that Bigfoot exists, and it might just be lurking in those woods waiting to be seen again. Wilderness hero. When duty calls, fear takes a back seat. A first responder's emergency drive turned into an encounter with a legendary giant while racing to the site of an incident that had taken place along the North Saskatchewan River in Alberta, Canada. His dash cam captured a massive figure covered in dark hair and had a large, muscular body unmistakably resembling Bigfoot, standing next to a tree near the road. The responder pushed through his terror, continuing his urgent journey to help someone in need. But what if the Bigfoot was the reason there was an incident in the first place? Shape-shifting orb. On August 22nd, 2024, a park's CCTV camera recorded a strange and eerie sight. What initially appeared as a glowing orb floating through the darkness transformed before the camera's lens. The light shifted, taking the form of two human figures who seemed engaged in conversation. Most intriguing was what happened next. The figures merged back into their original orb form and vanished. The security guards witnessing this supernatural display believed they had recorded demons, known in folklore for their ability to manipulate light and change forms at will. Tiny humanoid. While cutting down trees in the forest, a woodcutter's camera caught a strange, tiny humanoid creature that silently walked behind them, unnoticed at the time. When they reviewed the footage later, they saw what looked like a duende, a mysterious being sometimes described as part human, part animal, even part demon. Some even say it could be a tiny alien. Whatever it was, it left the woodcutters uneasy, and they likely won't return to that part of the forest anytime soon. Open discussion. Doorbell cams often record guests or delivery boys, but one family's security cam caught something no one was expecting. In broad daylight, it recorded this unexpected visitor, a creature that looked like a living skeleton. It had empty, hollow eyes, a big head, and a thin, bony body. To the shocked family, it looked like an alien or maybe a mysterious creature no one had seen before. It was constantly trying to look inside the house, perhaps wanting to enter it. That day, the creature went back, but left the whole town in its fear. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again,